Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Daily Mail. This was published on October 30th. They updated on October 30th. They changed the title in the process because it was Twitter buckles and unlocks New York Post's main account following 2-week stalemate over Hunter Biden articles. They changed the title. But yeah, this is written by Keith Griffith. And all I got to say is this is beautiful to see. Twitter thinks that they can pull the shit that they've been pulling without reprisal. And they realized finally that there can be and will be, actions taken to put a stop to what they're doing. And they figure by unlocking the New York Post, because one, they've gotten a bunch of bad publicity from it, but two, by doing it, they think that this is going to stave off what's going to happen to them. I hate to break it to them, but I don't think at this point that's going to be the case. Especially when, with how things are looking, Trump is going to win a second term. Optimistically, I think he's going to. Everything is pointing to that. With the polls are more about trying to convince people that creepy Uncle Joe's going to win and demoralize Trump supporters. That's the type of stuff that's going on. They don't realize how bad they screwed the pooch when it comes to the Democrats. They don't realize how bad they screwed things up. And Silicon Valley didn't help them at all. But I mean, the title itself here, Twitter folds and unlocks New York Post's main account following 2-week free speech stalemate over Hunter Biden articles after the big tech Goliath censored them. Yeah, they basically were trying to carry water for creepy Uncle Joe because it's clear that, Hunter was an intermediary and setting these deals up with influence, for peddling influence and everything else. Anyway, let's continue here. Twitter on Friday relented and unlocked the main account of the New York Post. Account had been locked since October 14th over Hunter Biden articles. Twitter lifted a ban on the articles, but it had insisted Post delete original tweets. Now, that's like about power and control. They realized they screwed up, but they still want to make others pay. Even though they got caught doing shady, shifty shit, they still want to act like we're the boss, you're going to pay, and you're going to suck it up and like it. That backfired on them, though. Now Twitter is reversing its policy of not retroactively reversing enforcement. But that's the fucked up thing. They consistently and constantly, retroactively, use their enforcement tools. You could tweet something 4, 5, 6 years ago, and oops, you can lose your account for it. So they selectively, retroactively do shit. Now they're just like, okay, yeah, we're going to allow this one to be retroactively, this can be a retroactive thing, but they do it all the time. That's how they get rid of people that they don't want on Twitter because of wrongthink, or the lefty outrage mob putting up a stink and they don't want to deal with that. That's how they deal with this shit. And now they want to act like we don't do retroactive, but we're going to do it in this case. No, that's not how it works. We all know you're shady, shifty scumbags that like this retroactive shit. No one's buying that. Maybe the tuned out normies might, but people who are like clued in on what's going on know you're full of shit. That this is like something new you're doing with this whole retroactive shit. It comes after Senator Ted Cruz blasted Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey in a hearing. Oh, God. He stomped the verbal shit out of, he verbally stomped the shit out of Dorsey. But see, this is the thing. And I've said this, and I've been consistent in this. Jack Dorsey is a paper CEO. Anyone who's ever dealt with startups. In a lot of cases, because it was the guy's idea, he was the one who got things started. The money people, they realize that has some benefit to the business. And what they'll do is they'll make that person usually a paper CEO. And they will have people behind the scenes that are actually running the business. Now, I'm not saying this is, an everyday occurrence. This is like very common, but it does happen. And Jack Dorsey is clearly a paper CEO. If you go and you watch the Joe Rogan with Tim Pool, him, and the Indian lawyer chick there, that's his handler. You can tell that she's there to handle him. She's there to handle the questions he has no clue about because he's not in the know. He's basically there with collecting shit tons of money, which he's got no problems with that, while other people run his damn company. You can tell when he was getting his ass stomped, verbally stomped by Cruz, he was basically spouting talking points that he was told to basically say. He was he was more android, okay, acting than Mark fucking Zuckerberg. Anyway, let's get into the article here. Twitter has backed down and unlocked the main account of the New York Post following a 2-week stalemate over the newspaper's articles about Hunter Biden's foreign business dealings. It's about time. They used every excuse they could to try to keep that from getting out there on their supposed platform. They busted their asses, coming up with excuse after excuse as to why it shouldn't be out there. Oh, it's hacked. Well, no, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, that was taken from a laptop that became the laptop repair shop's property because Hunter Biden never picked it up. Still hacked. No, that's not how it works. Okay, well, it was this then. No. How about this? No. This maybe? No. And then they did multiple attempts at trying to justify what they did using different bullshit rules. Okay. And in 24 hours, none of it stuck. That's why after 24 hours, they allowed the shit to go out there because they knew that they were also causing the Streisand effect by this because it's like, well, what are they trying to stop? So people start looking into it. They totally screwed the pooch. They tried to carry water for creepy Uncle Joe, and by blocking this shit, they actually gave more exposure to it. The social media company on Friday said it will reverse its prior demand that the Post delete tweets linking to the Biden articles after CEO Jack Dorsey faced exorcation in a Senate hearing this week. Twitter had already reversed its initial ban on tweeting links to the Post's article, or Post articles, but said it would not retroactively change its decision to lock the newspaper's account, insisting the original tweets be deleted. Right, again, that's all about power and control. They wanted to show the New York Post, fuck you, you're going to do what we tell you, we're the ones who are in charge, screw free speech, screw that you're the 4th largest circulating newspaper, screw the fact that, you were started by Alexander Hamilton and have been around since the time of Alexander Hamilton, we're in charge. Okay, it's this entitled elitist Silicon Valley, head up their ass, high on their own farts mentality. Okay, that came back to bite him in the ass. I mean, it was all about control. The company had justified its ban of the politically charged reporting on the Biden family by citing a prohibition on distributing hacked materials, which was complete bullshit. And he actually tried to keep pushing that shit. He's getting grilled by Cruz, and he's still trying. Well, we thought it was hacked. Jojo the Idiot Circus Boy could tell you it wasn't hacked. But you think people are stupider than him. Or even more stupid if we want to be grammatically correct. But we are talking about Jojo the Idiot Circus Boy. Anyway, the Post articles were based on documents from a laptop supposedly left at a repair shop by Hunter, who never retrieved it. At this point, you can more than confirm it was by Hunter. The owner of the repair shop said Hunter dropped it off. The signature of the person who dropped it off was checked by an expert, said it was Hunter Biden's signature. I think at this point you're safe to say Hunter Biden dropped his laptop from hell off there, or along with several others, okay, that had incriminating shit on them. And be safe with it. Just saying. And he probably never retrieved it because he's been high on a fucking crack bender for years. But anyway, they posted this tweet okay, about their policies being living documents, and we're willing to update and adjust them when we encounter new scenarios or receive important feedback, yada, 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 which they talk about here. See, our policies are living documents. We're willing to update and adjust them when we encounter new scenarios or receive important feedback from the public, the company said in a statement. So, encounter new scenarios. There was no new scenario here. This was literally stuff that was legally the property of the repair shop because Hunter fucking Biden was too high on crack to go pick up his damn laptop within a timely manner. Oh, and another thing on being able to confirm those are Hunter's laptops, okay? His attorney called to get them back once this shit started going. I think that kind of gives you a confirmation. So does the fact that no one in the Hunter, no one in the Joe Biden presidential campaign will say that they're not real. Not even creepy Uncle Joe. So, I mean, clearly, you can't play it like, oh, well, Justin will encounter new scenarios. This isn't a new scenario unless you're talking about the fact of, oh, shit, they got dirt on creepy Uncle Joe, which shouldn't be a new scenario. And this idea of receiving important feedback from the public. You mean you getting verbally shit stomped by Ted Cruz? Because that seems like, the best public feedback. Because it was, you looked like complete and total scum over at Twitter because you got your puppet CEO, Jack Dorsey, peddling your bullshit. He can't think on his feet. Yeah. Yeah, okay. It wasn't backlash. It was feedback. No, it was backlash. Sorry. Hate to break it to you. One such example is the recent change to our hacked materials policy and its impact on accounts like the New York Post, Twitter at it. But your hacked materials policy was something that you were grasping at straws, okay? Hoping to use to silence this shit while you're trying to claim, oh no, we don't think we can influence elections, when literally all this documentation came out of Google and YouTube and Twitter and Facebook about being able to manipulate the fucking elections. You scumbag lying sack of shit. I mean, I understand that you're just some puppet CEO and you really don't know what's going on, but you can't be a complete and total fucking moron, Jack. You know this shit's going on. You're just complacent in it. Or complicit, I mean. You're complacent, too. Because if you had a set of balls, you'd call out the company that you supposedly founded and should be running, in theory. You'd be calling out the shit that it's doing, and you wouldn't be carrying water for the bullshit that's going on. You wouldn't lie, oh, well, no, we're not left-leaning. Oh, no. The only one who was, like, remotely freaking honest, all right, during these hearings was Zuckerberg. Oh, yeah, we have a left lean. Pachai, oh, no, wait. I got to do my will you let me with my slurping machine? There we go. Now I got a bit of the accent. He's like, oh, no, we don't have a left lean. I mean, I know I'm exaggerating, okay? But that's what he was playing. Dorsey, puppet CEO, oh, no, we don't have a left lean. Oh, no. Ed Zuckerberg, I got to at least give the Android credit for admitting that, yeah, my company has a left lean. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, your policy had nothing to do with this material. It was not hacked. It was legally the property of the owner of the fucking repair shop. In response, we're updating our practice to not retroactively overturning prior enforcement. You retroactively apply your enforcement, but you won't retroactively undo it when you weren't retroactively undoing it when you got caught screwing the pooch until this time, because this time you realized you really stepped in the shit. Decisions made under policies that are subsequently changed and published can now be appealed if the account at issue is a driver of that change. We believe this is fair and appropriate, the statement continued. Oh, so basically what it takes is for you to get so much exposure, okay, that they can't cover up what they did to you, that they can't hide that shit. That's what they're saying right here, okay? Literally, that's what they're saying here. They're just phrasing it differently, all right? Because you have to be an account at issue that is a driver of that change. What the fuck does that exactly mean? Because if you apply that terminology to a small account that says something, you know they're not going to get the attention, you know, that about it. You know, they're not going to create a backlash, a massive one or anything like that, to where the rules change. This is only about when they get caught trying to censor, like, say, the New York Post or someone in the alternative media that is so big that they can't get away with it. That's what this is about. This has nothing to do with the fact of them censoring legitimate shit coming from the average, smaller, you know, creator, journalist, or, you know, just, you know, whatever, a tweeter, you know, someone who's just out there tweeting shit. This is only going to apply to the big boys. And they know it. They think they're appeasing people with this shit. It's still the same shit because they're still going to censor other people. Just, they won't censor the New York Times because they know it's going to get backlash. They ain't going to censor, you know, say someone like Steven Crowder because they know there's going to be backlash. And not only that, they're going to have to deal with his half-Asian Kraken lawyer. This means that a specific New York Post enforcement led us to update the hacked materials policy. We will no longer restrict their account under the terms of the previous policy, and they can now tweet again, the company said. I love how they're trying to, we're changing this policy. No, you basically, you tried to double, triple, and quadruple down on, all they have to do is just delete their tweets. And no one was buying that shit. They tried to make it sound like, that's how our system works. If they just delete them, everything will be fine. We can't restore them. This is shit they actually tried to use to justify their position. And they just proved they're full of shit. These people are disgusting. They truly are. Prior to the decision, the Post had been banned. Excuse me. The Post had been banned from tweeting since October 14th. The newspaper's first tweet on Friday evening simply read, "We're back," and included an image of Saturday's front page, known in tabloid speak as the Wood, headlined "Freebird" and showing Twitter's bird logo escaping from a cage. Yeah. It's a cool picture. I wish I had grabbed it for this, but the Post reported that it gained an additional 190,000 followers during Twitter's 2-week blackout. They tried to silence this shit and created the Streisand effect. Not only did they create it with, the fact of the article itself, they did it with the New York Post. They drove people to follow it. Which is something, that they're smacking themselves, like, in Twitter's offices. They're going up to each other, smacking each other like, "You fucking idiot, you fucking idiot, you fucking idiot." And they're doing it all to each other because they didn't realize that not only would it cause, more attention to be drawn to the article, they didn't think that they would actually cause 190,000 people to follow the New York Times as a result. These idiots, they truly think we're stupid. And they show how ignorant and stupid they truly are. The Post is the 4th largest daily newspaper in the U.S. by circulation and was founded in 1801 by Alexander Hamilton. Twitter's reversal comes just days after Republican senators, including Ted Cruz, tore into Dorsey at a hearing. "Mr. Dorsey, who the hell elected you and put you in charge of what the media are allowed to report and what American people are allowed to hear? And why do you persist in behaving as a Democratic super PAC, silencing views to the contrary of your political beliefs?" Cruz shouted as he joined in remotely for a hearing on Wednesday. He didn't really shout it. He raised his voice a little, but he wasn't really shouting. He emphasized. And he was dead on with that. Cruz, the junior Texas senator and a staunch Donald Trump ally, claimed Dorsey and the other tech CEOs are trying to police what Americans read and post online and influence the outcome of the election. This is from their own internal documents. They say they're trying to do this. Holy shit. You have Google and YouTube. Okay, we'll just say Alphabet, because anything to do with Google, YouTube, all that. We'll just say Alphabet. You have Alphabet rigging search results. You have them burying videos. You have them burying articles. You have them doing all this shit. And their own internal documents confirm it. You have Facebook getting caught, okay, suppressing stuff. Okay, you have Twitter shadow banning anything right of fucking Karl Marx, getting caught with that. I think at this point, we know this shit. And other documents have come out of those companies saying, this is what we're doing. Donald Trump, Donald Trump, orange man, bad. Okay, we got to stop this. These are their own internal documents exposing this shit, but it doesn't get really any traction. Project Veritas, okay, exposed a lot of this shady shit going on in Silicon Valley between Twitter and YouTube and with / Google and Facebook. Why do you think they've been trying to discredit Project Veritas? They've been exposing this shit all along. They've had whistleblowers come to them about it. I think at this point you can safely friggin' say, okay, that they're doing these things, that they're trying to censor people. If they sue you, they're going to lose. And they're not about to try to sue you because they know they're going to lose. They know they're trying to influence the election. They're not going to admit it. The New York Post story revealed some of what was found on Hunter Biden's intercepted hard drive, including documents suggesting Joe Biden's involvement in his family's wide-ranging foreign deals while he served as vice president, which has actually been confirmed that this has been going on with, Bubba, I can't think of his friggin' name. The former business partner, Bubba Linsky. Okay, this has been confirmed through other ways. This shit just got real, basically, is how you could put the situation with all the stuff that's coming out backing what's going on here or what's been found. I mean, come on. Facebook also limited the story from being shared, citing its policy for slowing the spread of potential misinformation. It said that it was going to be fact-checked, although no such fact-check has become public after more than 2 weeks. The newspaper remains locked out of its Twitter account. Yeah, none of that happened during the 2 weeks. They were locked out of their Twitter account. Facebook, we're going to fact-check it. They didn't fact-check shit. They suppressed it. Why aren't they getting called out for that? Going, we're going to fact check it. And you look at the fact checkers they use. They all carry water for Biden. Do you honestly think you're going to get a legitimate fact check that involves actual facts? Fuck no. Oh, hell no. You ain't going to. It's not like it's, bipartisan, people who don't believe in the false left-right paradigm involved too. It's none of that going on. They're almost all lefty spurgs and neocon rhino organizations because they wanted to stack the deck against Trump and say everything he fucking said was a lie. And then they literally grasp at straws to claim he did. Or they grasp at straws to claim that this wasn't politically motivated, this type of stuff. It's ridiculous. And one reason why Facebook probably hasn't done a fact check in 2 weeks is because they know they can't say this shit is fake. So they figure we'll just keep our mouths shut, let sleeping dogs lie, it'll pass. It probably will too. And it shouldn't. Twitter took a more aggressive stance with users who tweeted out the article, freezing the accounts of those who shared the link until they deleted the tweet contained the post article. Which is complete horseshit. It's just sleazy. Oh, no, we're not trying to censor anything. Oh, no, we're not trying to stop the exposure of creepy Uncle Joe. Oh, no, we're not doing anything shady. Oh, no, not us. No. No, we're completely above the board and legit. Cruz noted in a tweet that up until Wednesday afternoon, he could not try to tweet the link without receiving an error message from Twitter claiming the tweet could not be sent because it contained a link to potentially harmful. Yeah. So here they are saying, oh, after 24 hours. That's way more than 24 fucking hours. And he still couldn't send the link. What does that tell you? Okay. Or the fact that they're, labeling it potentially harmful. Potentially harmful to you. To who? It ain't the general public. The only person it's potentially harmful to, or people, more precisely, would be, oh, I don't know, a fucking crackhead with Aspen Dental fucking specials for dentures, and his creepy perverted father who can't keep his fucking hands off of fucking young women, little girls, and little boys. Because they're corrupt, sleazy scumbags. Seriously. The link can now be posted on Twitter. The Post reported earlier this month that emails showed Hunter Biden set up meetings between his father, who was vice president at the time, with executives of a Ukrainian energy company. Yeah, that's pretty much a given at this point. I mean, people who paid attention actually knew this shit was going on, because you had photographs of him with business partners. You had the CFR video where he's talking about how he got the prosecutor, what's his name, Poroshenko? I believe that's what it is. I'm awful with names. But yeah, got him fired, bragging about it. Well, you think you're getting the $1 billion Ukraine? No, that guy's going to get fired because I said so. Well, the president, talk to the president. He's going to help me with my corrupt shit. Which right there, that was totally corrupt. Obama helped with that. All right. There is major corruption within the White House. I mean, this was at least the levels of when Bill Clinton was president. Okay. And people forget, they think that the CCP, this shit's all new. No, the Clintons were in the pockets of the CCP when he was president. He kept getting contributions to the foundation, their foundation and shit, from Chinese businessmen or supposed businessmen who were CCP, high-ranking CCP party members. This is a long-standing thing of corruption here. Okay, the neocon rhinos, really bad about selling out this country. The Democrats, they turned it into a fucking art form, okay? The neocon rhinos were bad, but they put them to shame, all right? And I think the neocon rhinos are complete scumbags, but yeah, they basically topped them. It's hold my beer. You want to see about graft and corruption and shit like that? Hold my beer. And they've been doing that for decades. Oh, God. So, I mean, it's pretty clear here that we're in a situation where hand in the cookie jar, caught with the pants down type shit. It also contained a slew of other information that could be seen as damaging to Biden's election chances. Subsequent stories. Oh, wait, sorry. Subsequent stories. Dorsey. All right, wait, that makes no sense. It says subsequent stories, and then it goes, Dorsey said that the ban on the Post's Twitter account will be lifted if they delete their original tweet, which he said contained private information and apparent reference to an email address contained in the original article. Yeah, they're grasping at straws. So they change their tune, they move on. Yeah, I mean, come on now. On Thursday, Twitter reported quarterly financial results showing a slowdown in user growth, sending shares in the company tumbling. Yeah, okay, this is the thing. I'm going to be doing an article from Vanity Fair. They talk about this and then they try to carry water for Twitter. They don't want to admit this isn't because, that this is because of the censorious behavior, the fact that they're alienating half the fucking population of the United States pretty much, that they're, basically creating a leftist echo chamber that no one wants to go to. They're basically creating an environment where no one except for the lefty fucking spurgs want to go to. All right. And then they wonder why growth is stagnated. They've done really shady shit that they've been that has led to them exposing their true intentions and how they operate, like with, trying to label the president's tweets as false and misleading and all this other shit. So they do all this stuff. It gets publicly exposed and someone goes, why the hell do I want to go to Twitter? It's a fucking shithole. All right. It's filled with retards and spurgs. Why am I going to want to deal with that? I might say something and upset, Jack's, handlers and get banned, or I might be locked out of my account, or this or that. That's why their growth is stagnated, because they've turned the place into a complete and total fucking shithole that runs on leftist ideology and retardation. And investors aren't going to invest into a company when that's your product. No one wants to fucking buy that product. Well, on the note of buying it, they're giving their personal information, stuff like that. But you know what I mean. No one wants to accept a product like that. No one wants a shitty product like that. So that's why, okay, they dropped like this. All right, this is the 5-day, okay? October 27th, they're doing pretty good. We have the hearings, start drop, and then boom. Because between the hearings, hearing the growth numbers, people realize they've created to take one of their terms, they created a toxic environment that's actually toxic. They screwed the pooch. They fucked themselves. They should have just been an actual platform, and they wouldn't be in the shit show situation they're in right now. Silicon Valley in general should have done that. The number of monetizable daily users reported by Twitter rose by just 1 million from the past quarter to 187 million, below analysts' targets of 196 million. Yeah, they expected 10 million users to sign up for Twitter with the like shit show that they created. What saved Twitter from like basically going the way of MySpace was the fact of Trump and him getting elected. And instead of like fostering that environment that would keep the lefty spurgs going, and it's like the idea of Howard Stern, okay, from like the movie Private Parts, okay, when you have Pig Vomit asking, about the ratings for Stern, and he's asking him about the listen time, and they would have more lefties on, because like the people who like Trump will maybe spend a couple hours, but the people who hate Trump would spend like even more. That's how like with Howard Stern it was. It'd be the same thing, and it would have saved their platform. They just had to back off and keep it a platform instead of trying to curate it and becoming publishers. But hey, let's just ignore that caused them to have these issues. Let's just ignore that their actions created the situation. Oh, yeah. Let's carry water for Twitter and cover up on why they fucked themselves. That's what the legacy media is doing about this, too. It's so sad. Like, Vanity Fair does it big time. But yeah, they expected 10 million people to join. They got 1 million. Globally, 1 million. With billions of people. They should literally be able to pick up 10 million people, all right, from the developing fucking world when they're buying cheap fucking smartphones and shit now finally, okay? From the emerging Indian market, they could fucking pick up 1 million friggin' people. They can't even do that. Or, a couple million, I should say. Around the globe, they've got 100 million, they got 1 million active users. Increasing, to 187. That's sad. Anyway, Twitter shares plunged in response. Closing Friday's trading session down 21%. Oh no, that was more than that. They plunged. You don't think that Ted Cruz and the other members of the Senate that are actually grilling them about this shady shit? You don't think that had an effect? You don't think that Trump supporters have money in the stock market? You don't think that investment houses look at that shit and go, oh man, this is going to be a shit show? You don't think that they're being investigated, for antitrust and shit like that hasn't affected the stock price? All of those things affect the stock price. You can't just be like, oh, it's because they only got 1 million users. That's not how it works. Oh my God. Profits slipped to 29 million from 37 million a year ago, while revenues rose 14% to 936 million. Whoop-de-fucking-do. It really doesn't mean shit. But yeah, that's the moral of the story here. Don't act like a cocksucking asshole and create the Streisand effect. Well, that should be the moral of the story, because that's what happened here. Twitter said, I'm going to be a cocksucking asshole, and I'm going to carry water for Joe Biden. And I'm going to silence the 4th largest newspaper in the country. I mean, like, you got to be so full of yourself to honestly think you're going to get away with censoring the 4th largest newspaper in the United States. All right, you have to be deluded to believe you can do that. But yeah, they tried it, and it backfired on them. They thought they would get away with it. They thought that the other members of the legacy media would help, would help them in regards to this situation. No one really came to their aid with that. They thought that the Democrats would carry water for them in Congress. That really didn't happen. They thought that they were going to get back, their play was going to get backed, and it didn't. They jumped on the grenade for creepy, sleepy Uncle Joe, and it blew up in their face. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm leaving things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.